How far away is the nearest star? When you look up at the night sky and see those twinkling points of light, they might seem close enough to touch. But prepare to have your sense of scale completely obliterated because the distance to our nearest stellar neighbor is so mind-bogglingly vast that it makes a trip to the moon look like a walk to your mailbox. The nearest star to our sun is called Proxima Centauri, and it's about 4.24 light-years away. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, just 4.24 of something, right? But when you understand what a light year actually represents, you'll realize we're talking about a distance so enormous that our brains literally cannot comprehend it. A light year is the distance that light travels in 1 year, and light is fast, ridiculously, impossibly fast. Light travels at 186,282 miles per second. That means in just 1 second, light could circle the entire Earth 7.5 times. In that same second, you probably haven't even finished blinking. So how far does light travel in an entire year? Are you ready for this number? 1 light year equals approximately 5.88 trillion miles. That's a 5 followed by 0.88 followed by 12 zeros. It's 5,880,000 billion miles. To put that in perspective, if you could drive a car at highway speeds, let's say 60 miles per hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without ever stopping for gas, food, or sleep, it would take you over 10 million years to travel just 1 light year. 10 million years. Humans have only existed for about 300,000 years, and modern civilization is only a few thousand years old. And remember, Proxima Centauri is 4.24 light-years away. So, if you started driving toward our nearest star when the pyramids were being built, and somehow kept driving through space at 60 miles per hour this entire time, you still wouldn't even be halfway there yet. But let's try to make this even more relatable. If Earth was the size of a marble, our nearest star would be about 11,000 miles away. That's like placing a marble in New York City and saying the nearest other marble is somewhere in Australia. And that's just the closest one. Here's another way to think about it. If you could shrink the distance between Earth and the Sun down to just 1 inch, then Proxima Centauri would still be about 4.25 miles away. We're talking about distances so vast that even when you scale everything down dramatically, they're still huge. The crazy part is that Proxima Centauri isn't even visible to the naked eye, despite being our closest stellar neighbor. It's a tiny red dwarf star, much smaller and dimmer than our sun. When we look up at the night sky, the bright stars we can actually see are much more distant, but they appear bright because they're absolutely massive compared to little Proxima Centauri. Now, if these distances seem impossible to travel, you're absolutely right. With our current technology, a trip to Proxima Centauri would take an absurdly long time. The fastest spacecraft humans have ever built is the Parker Solar Probe, which reached speeds of over 430,000 miles per hour during its close approach to the Sun. That sounds incredibly fast, but at that speed it would still take about 6,000 years to reach Proxima Centauri. 6,000 years. That's longer than recorded human history. If ancient Egyptians had launched a spacecraft to Proxima Centauri using our best current technology, it still wouldn't have arrived yet. The crew would have been dead for millennia, along with their entire civilization. The Voyager 1 spacecraft, which launched in 1977 and is now the most distant human-made object from Earth, is traveling at about 38,000 miles per hour. At that speed, it would take over 73,000 years to reach Proxima Centauri. That's longer than modern humans have existed as a species, but here's what makes this even more mind-blowing. Proxima Centauri is part of a triple-star system called Alpha Centauri. There are actually 3 stars relatively close together: Proxima Centauri, Alpha Centauri, and Alpha Centauri b, and get this, they have planets. In 2016, astronomers discovered a potentially habitable planet orbiting Proxima Centauri called Proxima Centauri b. This planet is in what scientists call the habitable zone, where liquid water could potentially exist on the surface. It might even have an atmosphere. There could be weather, seasons, maybe even life. But it's sitting there, 4.24 light-years away, completely unreachable with current technology. Imagine that. Potentially the nearest habitable world to Earth, possibly teeming with alien life, and it might as well be in another universe for all our ability to get there. We can detect it, study it with telescopes, and speculate about what it might be like, but actually visiting it is beyond our current capabilities by thousands of years. Some scientists are working on concepts that might make interstellar travel possible within a human lifetime. The Breakthrough Starshot project proposes using powerful lasers to accelerate tiny spacecraft to 20% the speed of light. At that speed, a small probe could reach Proxima Centauri in about 20 years, but even that incredible speed, 20% the speed of light, shows just how vast space really is. We're talking about moving at 37 million miles per hour, faster than anything humans have ever built by a factor of about 85, and it would still take 2 decades to reach our nearest neighbor. And here's the kicker: even if we could send a message to Proxima Centauri traveling at the speed of light, the fastest possible speed in the universe, it would take 4.24 years to get there, and another 4.24 years for any reply to come back. That's an 8.5-year round trip for a simple hello. This puts the famous SETI search for extraterrestrial intelligence in perspective. If there are aliens on Proxima Centauri b and they sent us a radio signal today, we wouldn't receive it until 2029. And if we sent a reply immediately, they wouldn't get it until 2033. That's the fastest possible conversation with our nearest neighbors, but perhaps the most humbling aspect of all this is that Proxima Centauri, despite being impossibly far away, is practically next door in cosmic terms, the next nearest star. After Alpha Centauri is Barnard's star at about 6 light-years away. Then Vol 359 at 7.9 light-years. The distances just keep getting more and more ridiculous. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is about 100,000 light-years across. That means if you were somehow traveling at the speed of light, it would take you 100,000 years just to cross our own galaxy, and there are billions of other galaxies, each separated by millions of light-years. When you think about it this way, the fact that we can see stars at all is pretty amazing. The light hitting your eyes right now from Proxima Centauri, I left that star over for years ago. You're literally seeing the past when you look at the stars. The light from more distant stars might have traveled for hundreds or thousands of years before reaching your eyes. Every star in the night sky is a sun, potentially with its own planets, possibly with its own life forms sitting at distances so vast that they make interstellar travel seem like pure fantasy. Yet there they are, twinkling above us every night, tantalizingly visible but utterly unreachable. The universe is simultaneously smaller and larger than we imagine. Smaller because everything is connected by the same physical laws and made of the same fundamental particles. Larger because the scales involved are so enormous that they dwarf human comprehension. We live in a cosmic ocean where our nearest neighbors are separated by distances that would take our entire civilization's lifetime to cross. We're all alone together, each star system an island in the vast sea of space, close enough to see each other but too far apart to visit. If this cosmic perspective amazed you as much as it did me, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. To Astro offer more mind-expanding content about the universe and our place in it. Share this video with someone who needs to understand just how vast space really is. What surprised you most about the distance to our nearest star? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next stellar journey.